the consequences to People's Party and to its leadership are obvious. Furthermore, there appears to be developing a cleavage between the members of the People's Party itself, because some of them, comparatively newer faces, have been accorded positions of responsibility, where others who have served lifetimes in the service of the People's Party have been grounded. So I think the consequences of whatever is transpiring there are clearly visible as something plainly negative to the Pakistan People's Party.
This is normally I have observed that most rulers go through 4 phases: honeymoon phase, alienation phase, resistance phase, and removal phase. Will you say that in case of Mr. Zardari, the process of alienation is rather expedited, unusually expedited? The people, even in own party, are beginning to question him, and they may not challenge him, but they are feeling alienated from him.
Actually, my own view is that Mr. Asif Ali Zardari began quite well. He
and that was honeymoon period.
Yes, absolutely. He did very well, and his popularity graph moved up quite quickly. But then it seems that the same graph is going down as quickly.
Now let's talk about the larger context. It seems to me in Pakistan in last 2 years, particularly last 6 months, trifurcation of power has taken place. We have the military establishment, we have the parliament and the parliamentary parties, and we have non-parliamentary parties combined with other institutions of civil society led by lawyers and supported by the media. What kind of interplay do you visualize between these 3 forces over the next few months?
Out of these, insofar as the military and civil society players are concerned, they obviously have an informal existence. But insofar as the parliament, the executive and the judiciary are concerned, they are the formal organs of the state. That is where the power should vest. Of these, I think, while the military wields physical power, the people of Pakistan are getting stronger in the sense that street power is evolving very fast, in the sense that if there is deprivation, expression of that deprivation is very quick and very noticeable. And insofar as their support of the judicial cause goes, maybe they are the real force through which the judges would be restored, and pursuant to the efforts of which you will have an independent judiciary in Pakistan.
Very excellent. But just to see how this thing is going to work out, Justice Saab, normally when we talk of the street power, we equate with some kind of agitation, maybe violence, maybe unregulated behavior. And that abstracts from the equation the intellectual role, the role of the intelligentsia. Where do you see Pakistani intelligentsia in this equation? And what kind of role are they playing in changing people's mind, their opinion, and shaping their preferences?
The most extraordinary thing about the lawyers' movement, coupled with the civil society movement, is that it is not so much a movement of the workers or of the peasants or of the man on the street. It is definitely a movement of the intellectuals, a movement of those who apparently know what they are doing, and who obviously also know what they propose ultimately to achieve. So I think that way it is an extraordinary movement, and its combined with lawyers has made it something most wonderful. In fact, I came across an assessment a few days back where internationally at some function in New York, a lawyer's function, a judge's function, it was said that the year 2007 belongs to Pakistan.
Mm-hmm. And rightly so. As I'm sure I shared with you earlier, Ramsey Clark, the 66th Attorney General of the United States, recently in a phone conversation with Chief Justice of Pakistan commented. He said, what you have done has never been done in any society before. The whole world is indebted to you. But I still want to go back to the issue of the movement. It seems to me, sir, that even in Pakistan, sometimes people are selling this movement short, in the sense the belief is that the real thing is the parliament, and movement happens to be sort of third best option that one could take. But when we look at the history of the world, it is the social movements, even in the presence of the very established institutions, that have brought changes. Had there been no Malcolm X, had there been no Martin Luther King, America will still be a very racist society. They had all the institutions, but the racism was overcome by the street of the United States, not by the state of the United States. And I may want to bring to your attention a story and then ask your comment. Dr. King and Andrew Young went to see President Johnson in this country, and they asked for a legislation immediately after they had passed the Civil Rights Act of 1964. And the president said, look, I have passed a major legislation. I just don't have any more capital, more energy to do this thing. And Andrew Young says, Dr. King sat there and said, yes, Mr. President, yes, Mr. President. As they came out of the White House, he turned to Andrew Young and said, the president is right, he has no more power. You and I do. Let's go back to Alabama. It was going back to Alabama that brought about the change. So in that regard, I want you to comment on the vitality of this movement, because ultimately it's not just the institutions, it's institutions combined with the strength of the society, intellectual strength and moral strength and social strength. What do you see the next phase for the lawyers' movement? Is it going to continue to exert, or do you think it has been contained by institutional means?
I think you have cited an excellent example. I believe that we have something similar in offering in Pakistan. Of course, you must be knowing that through this constitutional amendment, the proposed 18th amendment to the Constitution of Pakistan, they want to further curtail and enslave the superior judiciary of Pakistan. They want to undo with the Supreme Judicial Council. They want to put in their own nominated retired judges in that council, and even that council is not going to be accorded any finality. Their decisions would be challengeable before a 9-judge bench of the Supreme Court. Apart from that, insofar as the nomination process of the judges itself is concerned, that would be controlled by the law minister, both at the High Court level and the Supreme Court level. And in fact, if these amendments are put into practice, if these amendments are made law, the judiciary in Pakistan would be the most enslaved, most curtailed judiciary in the entire civilized world. Now, this is something which was easiest insofar as it's being put into effect is concerned. Q League would be for it. People's Party is for it. People's Party and PMLN are constituting a very strong coalition, a coalition which virtually can talk of 2/3 majority, the required majority to amend the constitution. Everything is there, but the package is lying there. The package is lying in cold storage for one reason only. The Pakistan people have spoken. The Pakistan people have come alive, and the people of Pakistan would not tolerate one bit of it.
But as we look at, for instance, the history of civil rights movement in this country, we see that movements not only change laws, they change institutions. We had in 1896 in this country the law of Plessy versus Ferguson, in which the Supreme Court of the United States said that separate is equal and therefore constitutional. After roughly 60 years in 1954 in Brown versus Board of Education, the same institution, not the same set of men, but the same institution said separate is not equal, therefore unconstitutional. What had changed was the society, the morals, the philosophy, and the movements that were articulating it. It seems to me if Zardari and company don't restore the judges, in the end it might be more beneficial for Pakistan, because it will become a deeper movement, a stronger movement of lawyers that will be more encompassing.